Dear students, I am Dr. Sufyan Ahmad, working as Deputy Librarian in Jamia Millia Islamia, New Delhi. Today I am going to discuss the topic types of reports created in various types of libraries. So let us understand first what is a report. A report is a document that presents information in an organized format for a specific purpose, which is prepared in the form of written documents. There are various types of reports which are compiled, prepared and maintained in library, which are also known as records or statistics. Library reports refer to a method of dealing with a qualitative information involving collection, presentation, analysis and interpretation. They also refer to as quantitative information such as number of books added to a library each year, number of books received on interlibrary loan, number of registered users, number of visitors, circulation statistics, use statistics, etc., etc. Now, let us understand what are the usefulness of reports. Management would like to know how well the library is doing. Comparison of reports over a few years can indicate the position of the library. Librarian can also use reports for the purpose of measuring efficiency of different sections of library and individuals, for planning of new services or improving the existing services, to prepare a case for increase in funds and staff, to present the users and management the achievements of the library. Report will also indicate whether there is likely to be enough demand for the new service, to prepare a case for increase in funds and staff, to compile an annual report of the library, etc. There are various types of reports in libraries. Types of reports to be maintained vary from library to library, which depends upon the use to be made of reports. Reports may be collected about acquisition, classification, cataloging, membership, number of visitors, issue and return of books, interlibrary loan, reference service, periodicals, etc., etc. Reports maintained by different sections of the library can be highly useful. Daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly reports sent by different sections are considered useful sources of reports. For statistical reports, routine forms should be designed, which should be designed very carefully and should be periodically revised in the light of experiences and specific requirements. These forms should be simple, clear and easy to understand. The reports can be presented in a variety of forms such as tables, graphs, diagrams, etc. Unlike reports of government departments or industrial houses, which are mostly in the form of files, library reports are created and captured in several different forms depending upon the nature of activities that take place in various sections of the library. In a fully computerized library, such reports are computer generated by the relevant software modules. In non-automated libraries, the reports are available in the form of records such as ledgers, registers, files, cards, etc. These reports may be categorized by their lifespan, content and form of presentation of information. So, first of all, let us understand reports as per their lifespan. These reports are further categorized as permanent, semi-permanent and temporary reports. Permanent reports are retained on permanent basis, which include library policy, documents, library procedure and guidelines, documents relating to library origin and growth, staff sanction approvals, accession registers, user registration, audit reports, inventory of furniture, fittings and equipments, building plan, electrical and sewage system plans, etc., are called permanent records. Similarly, semi-permanent records include funds utilization register, agreement with firms about terms and conditions of supply of books, and access to e-journals and database and library circulation records, in-house and online usage records, etc. Financial reports are retained till the audit is over. Similarly, records pertaining to the terms and condition of supply of a firm need not to be retained once dealing with firm is over. Now, temporary reports are generated for a specific purpose which may be destroyed upon completion of the particular work, which are no longer expected to be used in future. Now, let us see reports as per their content. These reports include number 1 reports of resources, number 2 financial reports, number 3 service reports, and number 4 administrative reports. Reports of resources, these reports pertain to books and non-book material such as audiobooks, audiovisual works, brochures, computer software, dissertations, globes, maps, microfilms, photos, postcards, posters, serials, slides and stamps, etc. Financial reports include accounts books such as budget register, registers showing section wise allocation of funds and their expenditure, bill register, etc. Library service reports include interlibrary loan, circulation and reference service, etc., etc. Then we have administrative reports. The number of staff varies from library to library. There are libraries which are run by a single staff. Others have a staff varying from a few to more than 100. Every staff has got a service book that maintain records of their entire service including leave, etc. Confidential reports of every staff written by their seniors are also carefully maintained in the library. Then we have reports by form of presentation. These reports are of two types, descriptive and statistical. The stated library policies, minutes of various meetings, etc. are descriptive reports, whereas the statistical reports are those which are based on certain statistics of library activities and functions. A library purchases a number of books in a year, processes them, issue them to the reader and so on. Every day a number of readers use the library, some of them ask questions, want some services and so on. At the end of the year, cumulative reports are analyzed and data generated indicating the number of books purchased, processed, issued, number of queries answered and photocopies supplied, etc. and progress made over the previous years. These form statistical reports. Then we have reports maintained by the different sections of libraries. Libraries organizes their activities under a departmental structure. The actual organizational structure in a library depends upon the size of its collection, the variety of library functions or the administrative needs of the parent body. However, with marginal variations, we have these sections in almost all the libraries such as acquisition section, technical processing section, circulation section, reference, reading room and documentation service section, periodical section, maintenance and administrative section, etc. Now, let us see reports maintained by the different sections of the libraries. Libraries organize their activities under a departmental structure. The actual organizational structure in a library depends upon the size of its collection, the variety of library functions or the administrative needs of the parent body. However, with marginal variations, we have these sections in almost all the libraries such as acquisition section, technical processing section, circulation section, reference reading room and documentation service section, periodical section, maintenance and administrative section, etc. Each section creates and maintains reports to help conduct its routine function in a systematic order. The acquisition section is responsible for building up the library collection. The process of collection building begins with the formulation of library collection development policy and subsequently on its implementation of receiving suggestions from library members, staff and authorities, recording suggestions for each title on book selection slips, duplicate checking of records with the library holdings, placing order with the appropriate supplier. When the ordered material is received, it is checked for correct supply, entered in the accession record and transferred to technical section for further action. The invoice for the supplied material is recorded in a register, adjusted against financial provision and passed on to the finance department responsible for payment. These descriptions of acquisition of materials through purchase order method necessitates the creation of different types of reports such as ledgers, which are used for recording of bills for every category of library materials, adjustment of expenditure against funds allocation, accession registers, etc. Besides, libraries create and maintain a number of files as records for several different purposes. This can be categorized as correspondence file, which is used to keep all the correspondences with the suppliers of library materials. Correspondences may be orders, reminders, complaints regarding supply of damaged or wrong books, terms and conditions of supply, etc. Now, we have technical processing section. This section has three distinct functions such as classification, cataloging and physical processing. The first two sections are done with the help of classification scheme and cataloging codes adopted for the purpose, often with certain deviation in constructing class number or in providing detail in the catalog entry for a document. This is done in response to meet the local needs of the library. Such policy decisions are recorded in a file called authority file for future reference. Catalog cards and self list represent the library collection. These are the two records which are generated by the technical section. The shelf list is usually retained in the technical section and the card catalog or online access catalog, which is also known as OPAC, is placed close to the entrance lobby or reading area. If any book is lost or withdrawn from the library, the relevant entries are removed from the shelf list and necessary remarks are added to the catalog entries. Besides, this section also maintains reports of transfer of books from one section to other or from one library to other library. Now, if we talk about circulation section, the main function of the circulation section is issue and return of books. For carrying out this function successfully, the department has to perform many activities. Some of these are reservation routines, requisitioning materials on interlibrary loans, etc. Although binding is a distinct administrative function, it is dealt with the circulation department in some libraries, as it involves keeping records of books going out from the library. This section also maintains reports of interlibrary loan materials, overdue charges, receipt of overdue charges, etc. The circulation section will have files relating to library circulation policy, registration of library members, interlibrary loan service and correspondence on overdue books or reserved books, binders for getting the books and periodicals bound, user complaints, etc., etc. If the correspondence volume is small, one file may serve the purpose for all these, otherwise different files may be opened depending on the need. Based on the data available in this section, it is possible to know the total number of members, types of members by age group, by level of education, use statistics, type of materials in demand, interlibrary loan, etc. Now, we have reference and documentation service sections also in the library. The nature and level of reference services vary with the nature and size of a library. In public libraries, it is mostly question answer type service. In academic and special libraries, in addition to such queries, the staff is also expected to prepare documentation list and offer current awareness service. In special libraries, the staff is expected to provide selective dissemination of information service to individual researchers working in specialized areas. Since much of the dealing in reference section with users are about providing reference service with the help of reference tools, not much reports are generated or maintained in this department. However, certain reports may be maintained and generated such as queries attended, abstract of articles prepared, bibliographies compiled, SDI services provided, etc. on a daily basis and accumulated on yearly basis. We have another section that is known as periodical section. Different libraries have different system for organizing acquisition and maintenance of periodicals. Libraries with large number of serial subscription organize the entire routines in an independent section. Smaller libraries often include subscription and related routines along with books in acquisition section. Various reports are maintained in this section relating to ordering, receipt and non-receipt of periodicals, issuing of reminders and binding of periodicals, etc. Depending on the need, one or more files may be required for correspondence relating to subscription of periodicals, which may include quotation papers, price list from the publisher, list of periodicals, suggestions received from users, etc. All these correspondences and related papers are to be maintained properly for the smooth functioning of the activities. Many libraries are members of one or more consortia or exchange their publications. This also results in correspondence and accumulation of various other papers such as list of periodicals according to publishers and list of members of the consortia. Non-receipt of issues, receipt of defective copy, duplicate copy or unsubscribed copy are also leads to correspondence. Some libraries use cards which is known as cardex for recording the receipt of periodicals, issuing reminders for the non-receipt of issues, expected date of arrival of the next issue and so on, whereas modern libraries are maintaining all these functions in an automated system with the help of library management software, wherein number of serials registered against subscription, gift exchange or consortium, reminders sent, volumes prepared for binding and such other routines of the sections are maintained. Then we have another section which is known as maintenance section. This section is primarily concerned with upkeep and maintenance of library materials in good condition, and in that helps users to have access material with ease. For achieving this objective, the section puts the collection in different sequences and in a specific order in each sequence. It provides the stack area with helpful guide and identifies titles in need of repair or binding. It makes periodic check to identify books which need weeding out from the collection. The section also conducts stock verification at fixed intervals as per library policy. The reports in the section are mainly in the form of list of books, etc. The list may include the books that are withdrawn from the shelves for weeding out or for repair. The files may also be related to the acquisition of new furniture, removal of old or unused furniture, request for equipment and materials for cleaning, etc. Preservation of rare and important documents is also an important activity of a library. This also generates a lot of reports. Now we have administrative section also. This section looks after the administrative activities of a library, which involves library manpower, finance and accounts, library buildings, library assets such as furniture and equipment, etc. It also functions as the nodal point for contact with administration of the parent body of the library. The reports in administration are mostly in the form of files, registers and ledgers. This section maintains various types of reports such as manpower reports, financial reports, library asset reports, reports concerning library development policy, etc. Then library building reports, disaster management manual, etc. The manpower reports comprising of attendance register, service books of employee, leave records and staff deployment record, etc. Salary and wage records are also maintained where library is the wage disbursing authority. This section also maintains statistical reports collected from different sections which are consolidated, whereby the overall scenario of the library comes up. Besides, there are financial reports also comprising of correspondence relating to annual budget, budget register, budget allocation and utilization register, etc. The last mentioned report is very useful as it always provides information as to money already spent and the money that remains to be spent. When anything what needs to be purchased, this report is always very helpful. Records of library assets. Every library has various types of assets comprising bookshelf, almirah, tables, chairs, fans, etc. In modern libraries, there are computers, photocopying machines, microfilm reader printers, videos and so on. All these furniture items, fittings, machines, tools, etc. are recorded in a register. When something is issued to someone, a record is maintained. Record is also maintained for those items that are written off. Reports concerning library development policy, etc. include annual reports of the library, proceedings of the library committee meetings, development plans and proposals of the library, library rules and regulations, contracts and agreements and so on. Library building reports are relating to library building plan, maintenance and repair, etc. A library usually grows requiring construction of new rooms, new story and at times new building sets. Security is one of great concern for a library as it contains many rare books, manuscripts and other valuable materials. Hence, flawless security arrangement is made. All these also generate reports. These reports are usually maintained in files. Disasters like fire, flood, earthquakes and tsunamis sometimes afflict libraries. That is why many libraries prepare disaster management manual that act as guide to help librarians to save valuable books and other materials of the library when a disaster strikes. Now, I am going to conclude the discussion. Reports in library terminology are documents containing details of processes, activities and results of some functions of either the whole organization or a part of it. Reports bring uniformity in library tasks and serve as a standard for evaluation of performance. They are used as supporting documents for new proposals and serve as source materials for compiling the history of the library. They also help meet audit scrutiny and justify the needs for library as a social institutions. Reports can be divided into various categories by using different criteria such as their lifespan, contents and forms of presentation of information. Library reports are maintained in the form of ledgers, registers, files, etc. Reports are needed in a library because they bring uniformity in routines, render help for evaluation of performance, efficiency and achievements, lend support to various library proposals, act as source materials for constructing the history of a library, serve as a tool for efficient access to the library resources, provide proof of budget utilization for the fulfillment of audit requirements, indicate workload and helps in rational allocation of manpower among the various sections of the library, and finally justify desirability of library services for the society. Reports are categorized according to their number 1 lifespan, number 2 contents and number 3 forms of presentation. When reports are categorized according to lifespan, we find 3 types of records. They are permanent, semi-permanent and temporary. Reports of library resources, finance, service and administrative functions are based on their contents. Reports can be categorized according to the form of presentation of information also. Such reports either provide descriptive account or statistical data. The statistical sheet records data about daily performances in various sections. Reports serve as useful purpose as it enables the librarian to determine a strong and weak point so that he can bring improvements in the working of the library. It also helps him to justify its cost and will enable him to put forward a case of increased grants and staff. So, this is all for today's discussion. I hope you all have understood the concept well, because I have covered all the aspects of different types of reports which is created and prepared in different types of libraries. So, we will see again. Thank you very much.